my name is Jonny Benjamin, and the type of schizophrenia that I have is what's called schizoaffective disorder, which is a combination of schizophrenia and bipolar. With me, I never really had the highs and the lows that come with bipolar. It was more just depression. So for me, it's kind of schizophrenia and depression. I've been experiencing it since I was 10 years old. I'm 28 now, so 18 years. My symptoms began when I was 10, when I started hearing a voice in my head, and I also started to believe that I was on my own version of the film The Truman Show. The Truman Show is a film where Jim Carrey's character is watched by cameras wherever he goes, and he thinks that he's on his own TV show, and I started to think that I was on my own TV show. It's had a huge impact on my life. It means that I go through ups and downs in my health. I'm quite lucky, you know. I had a really bad experience. I had a really bad phase of being unwell when I was in my late teens and early 20s. But I'm lucky because, you know, apart from that, I've gone through ups and downs, yeah, but mostly I've stayed well. I've done a lot of CBT, cognitive behavioural therapy, which has really helped me. So CBT is all about breaking the kind of negative thoughts that you have. Things like paranoia, all about breaking them and turning them into positive thoughts, or thoughts that aren't so negative. I've also done a lot of mindfulness. So mindfulness is all about being in the present moment and not being so up here, through things like meditation and through things like yoga. Creative writing, and I make films about mental health, and I'm a public speaker now. And all of these things have really helped to help me to manage my mental health. I also attend support groups as well, because I think that meeting other people with mental health issues, particularly schizophrenia, is really helpful. Schizophrenia, personally, I think is one of the most stigmatized. People think that people that have schizophrenia have a split personality, which is completely untrue. You know, people with schizophrenia usually have a range of symptoms that could be hearing voices or paranoia or delusion. Could be a combination of all of them. Schizophrenia is not split personality. The other misconception is that people with schizophrenia are violent or dangerous, which again is completely untrue. People with schizophrenia are more likely to be victims of violence than perpetrators. Unfortunately, the media has created this negative portrayal of people with schizophrenia, which really, really needs to change. Talk. You know, that's what I'm trying to do. That's what I've been doing with my films that I make, with my public speaking. Through talking about schizophrenia, we will reduce the stigma. Through, I think, again, going back to the media, through the media changing the way that they portray schizophrenia, we will help to break the stigma. I think there needs to be more awareness campaigns. The charity Rethink Mental Illness, who I'm an ambassador for, do great campaigns around schizophrenia, but I think there needs to be more. In the same way that, say, I don't know, 20 years ago, people looked at AIDS as being a very scary thing we didn't like to talk about, or there was a lot of misconceptions about. We need to do that for schizophrenia, because there's a hell of a lot of stigma for schizophrenia. So we need to get the media on board, we need to get public people with a public profile on board, like the royals, for instance. I love the royals to stand up and say, this is what schizophrenia really is. Just like Princess Diana did back in the day with AIDS. You know, she really broke down that stigma that was attached to AIDS. So we need more public awareness. There is no reason to fear schizophrenia or schizoaffective disorder. No reason to fear it at all. The brain is an organ just like the heart, the liver, you know, whatever. And sometimes these organs, they don't work so well, you know. Just like with the heart, sometimes, you know, people unfortunately have heart attacks. And sometimes with the brain, sometimes people unfortunately become unbalanced and unwell, and sometimes that can result in a diagnosis such as schizophrenia. It's not who they really are, it's their brain. You know, you can't control how your brain works. So, you know, it's just something that happens. I think we need to just be more open about it, you know. There's no reason to be scared of it. We need to be more open, and we need people to know that people with schizophrenia do get better. People with schizophrenia do get better. You don't see that in the media, but they do. They really do. There's people out there living with schizophrenia who are working, who have families, who have great lives, but you never see that side of schizophrenia. So that's what I really want to get across. Thank you.